Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Bunny Brook Designs. I'm Cindy, and so last video we did these earrings with the dark yellow and the purple, and so today we are going to be doing the necklace, and I'm going to be doing a two-stranded necklace. So I've cut two lengths of bead-along wire. I just cut random lengths because I do use the scraps for bracelets, so it's fine if they're a little long. And I am going to grab a bead stopper here because I'm going to put a bead stopper on these. And I'm going to just start stringing because I want to make sure that these are even. And so what we're going to do is we're going to put these on, and then we are going to add some chain to this as well, and the chain is going to go all the way up, and what we're going to do is we're going to hook these onto the chain to make a three-stranded necklace that is, it's going to be a unique pattern. I've got ideas. I was going to originally do jump rings, and then I thought about doing split jump rings, but I want to do some chain too. And so this chain is from my stash. So first we're just going to start stringing on these beads, if I can get these pearls on. Pearls tend to have really small holes, so they tend to be hard to string up. So when you're working with them, and these are tiny, so it really doesn't help that they are not easy to grip either. So I know in the last one it was a pretty short video, but I added into I'm going to be adding into the end because I haven't edited it yet. I'm recording this the same day that I recorded those earrings. Just a little bit later, I took a break and spent some time with a bunny, but I am including a video on that one, which comes out on a Friday. So we call it Foster Friday in the rescue community. So for Foster Friday, I did a video for you of Crystal, Piper, and Bailey. And just wanted to kind of show you the cuteness that lives in my house. They're downstairs right now pouting because I put them in so that I could come up here and do a video for y'all. And so, but Velvet, who is the spoiled one, happens to be right here under my feet, as always. And it's strange. It seems like every time I do a video, or I sit at my desk, or I'm doing anything where I'm sitting in this room, she has to be under my feet. Which is a long way from where she used to be, which was terrified of everyone and everything. So here's a question for all my subscribers and viewers out there. Do you have animals? If so, what animals do you have? Are they spoiled rotten like mine? I would love to know. So leave me... Ooh! I'm losing beads. Leave me something in the comments. You can leave a picture. Just kind of, let me know what is going on. If, what pets do you have? All right. So here is my first strand. And I'm going to string up this next strand and make sure that that is also the same length that this strand is. So I'm going to slide this strand all the way down to my bead saver, And I'm going to throw this wire on there as well, just in a different space, couple spaces over. That's the beauty of having these bead stoppers. They work great, so you can put multiple strands in. And I am also going to put a bead stopper on the other end of the one I just strung so that I don't lose that. So now I've got bead stoppers on both ends of that, and this is in the same bead stopper. So this will help me gauge whether or not these are the same length, because we are going to be putting them on different spots on the chain. And in doing that, it'll make them look longer, but be the same, actually the same length. So it's going to be an optical illusion if it comes out. It may not. This is something I'm trying just because I got an idea for these dark beads that I think would be really fun. And so we will see. Not to mention, this gives me the fall feeling when I look at these colors, especially this. The burgundy, the dark yellow. The other thing I'm going to encourage my viewers to do is, if you don't already, even if you don't have a YouTube channel or you don't want to have a YouTube channel, I would recommend recording what you do. So that way, if you make something and you really like it, those are stuck together, you really like the design, and, you know, 6 months down the road, you're like, oh, hey, I want to make another one of those, but you can't remember how you made it. You can always go back and watch your video and get the idea, be like, oh, that's how I made that. That's right. That's where I got those beads from. Like, keep track of that, because it's great to see how you did it and see if you can reproduce it. I started out doing kumihimo. I don't know if you know what that is. It's the Japanese braiding technique that you use beads, and I was making some designs and I had forgotten how I made them. And I went back and watched the video, and I remember, because I didn't write the pattern down, and I had made a Stars and Stripes kumihimo bracelet and couldn't remember what I had used for beads on what strings. And I went back and watched it, and it was great, because it was like, oh, that's how I did it. All right, so as we can see here, these are definitely not the same length. So I'm going to have to add more to this bottom, or this top one. At least maybe a little bit more. I think maybe a pearl and a spacer, and let's see, what does that do? That does a little bit, and another pearl, and we'll do three more purple pearls. And we're going to repeat that on the other side. So I'm going to just put that in the stopper, grab this out of my stopper, and do a pearl, a spacer, a pearl, and 3 more purples. Now this may make it too long, but again, we are going to test it out. I am going to put this in there. And so that's there. Now I'm going to take these out of the stopper there and see what we have here. All right, that's better. It's not quite, but it's good. I think it's, so now it's the opposite. So the one that was too short is now longer. So we can add to this, which is fine because I was planning on having to add because I didn't want it super small. And now we're going to do that on this side. 1 pearl. And 1 of those. And the reason being that I want them close to the same length, fairly close to the same length here, is because when we put them together on the necklace and they are together, but they're on the chain, they're going to hang. And I may take the pearl off or put another pearl. I want this bottom one to be slightly longer, but I want to keep the pattern. So I may take and let's just see if I add 1 pearl there. How long would that make it? So that would be, yeah. So we're going to add another pearl to this because then that way it'll also break up the purple on the edge here so that there's not just a bunch of purple up where it's going to attach to the chain. So that is going to give me just a little bit of drape there. And then when we put the chain on, and again, I don't know if this is going to work, so I'm going to crimp these onto jump rings because I was thinking maybe the chain would be there. So let me measure the chain and cut that first. So again, I'm going to use my neck as a guide, roughly where I want it to fall. And I'm going to go about like that. All right. So let's see how long this is from where my fingers are for you. So that's going to be roughly, I'm going to say it's going to be roughly about a 20-inch chain. I'm going to remeasure this and I'm going to cut it at 20 inches. Again, the necklace is probably going to be the shorter part of it. And I have here my measuring tape. And so I'm just going to measure 20 inches. And I am going to cut. And again, I'm not doing exact. And then I'm just going to measure up because I want the chain to be the shortest piece. So that's perfect. So now what we need to do is we're going to need to find, and this is where it's going to be difficult because we're going to have to find the center point and crimp on. So what I may do is I may crimp these and put them on a small jump ring so that I can hook them to the chain and not have to worry about crimping them onto the chain, because then I can readjust. So I'm going to take some small jump rings and I'm going to make sure that they are tight together. And so I don't know if anybody's ever told you, I'm sure you guys know how to tighten up your jump rings, but you just wiggle it back and forth until you feel them, and you push in and you wait till you feel them rubbing up against each other, and then there forms a pretty tight jump ring. So I am going to then crimp on a jump ring on the first one. Ooh, and I just lost it. I just didn't need that long of a tail in there. So you need a tail, but you don't need one so long that it's taking up half your necklace. I am just going to, and I do want to leave this a little bit loose because I do want this to kind of flop around a little bit, just because I think it'll lend itself to the design of the necklace. Now I'm going to crimp, and we are going to slide these beads. And I'm just sliding, sorry if I'm off camera, I'm just sliding these beads down and putting them into the pearls so that that second wire goes through several beads so that it's tucked in. It's not going, that's not going anywhere. And now I'm going to take the other side off, now that that is tucked in, and we are going to put another jump ring here, and I'm going to tighten up a jump ring. That one's fairly tight. And I need another crimp bead. Do I have more crimp beads? Looks like I'm going to need to get some more silver crimp beads. Looks like I am almost out. That's all I have left, so definitely don't want to run out of my crimp beads. Oh, and I can't, I've got the dropsies tonight. And I am going to pause you guys just because I see this video is getting quite lengthy. I'm going to pause you. I'm going to crimp both of these things, and then we're going to get back together, and I will show you how to finish up the remainder of the necklace. I will be right back. All right, guys, I'm back. So I've cleared my tray. I have my 2 strands of beads here. And so what I'm going to do is I found the center of my chain, and I am going to put my bead, my center bead, on the center, toward the center of the chain. Now I don't want this super tight on the chain. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take another little jump ring. If I can get it open here. Being left-handed does not lend itself to having things set up for a right-handed person. All right, making sure that is still centered, I'm going to pick up the chain if I can. So what I'm doing here, and I'm trying to do it so it's staying down so that I have my necklace, and again, I can always trim or add to it. But I'm starting off with this one, and I want to go right there. And so all I'm doing, and it's hard for me to see just as much as I'm sure it's hard for you to see, is I'm just closing the jump ring on that. And that is on the necklace. And now I can find the other spot. And again, I want to do this so that this part is a little tighter. So what I may do is I may just count the number of chains here, and then I will get right back with you. All right, so I counted. I have 68 from that side. I counted 68 to this side and I just put a head pin in it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach the chain to this at 68. And I'm going to use another jump ring so that it's got some play in it. And what I may do, seeing that I have a head pin in this, I may put the jump ring, if I can get it in there. Come on. There, got it. In the spot. Now it's not going to make a difference if it's 1 off. Now if it's like 10 or 15 off, it'll definitely make a difference in the chain, but not. All right, so that hangs. All right, now we just need to put the other one on, and we are going to go up this just a couple rungs up, and I have 2 jump rings here. This one's quite open, so I am going to need to put this closer together so that when I open it, it's not. And actually, I may just get a new one. Instead of fighting with that, we'll just take another one here because I've got a few out. And again, I really shouldn't be using my nails. So I am going to come from this chain from this side, and I'm going to, if I cannot drop my jump rings, I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just so it has a little bit of distance. And I am going to close that. All right. So now the necklace is hanging, and we are going to go up 5 from the other side so that this one's going to be a little bit tighter than the other one. And I have a bunny under feet again, and she's licking my feet, which does not help for me because I have ticklish feet and she licks everywhere on my feet. And so I am sorry if I'm distracted at the moment. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's 5. Okay. There we go. Now we have, and I may need to adjust the chain because I think I got the chain twisted there just a little bit. There we go. So now that's going to hang. Not that you can see it very well, but it's got the chain in between. The chain's going to hang when I'm holding it up, and it's really hard to see. The chain is twisted. Hang on. That one's twisted, that's why. There we go. Yes, there we go. All right, so the chain was just twisted. Sorry about that, guys. Anyways, there is the necklace. It's got a little bit of a chain in there so that it's going to hang, should hang in between these two quite nicely. I don't know why it's twisting like that. Again, I may have to unstring one of these and crimp it on the other side. I think that's what the problem is here. That. Yes. All right, let's untangle this. When I crimped it, or when I put the jump ring on, I twisted the chain. So we want to make sure we don't do that here. So there is that. All right. So again, that's something that you're going to have to be very careful of when you're doing this, is that you don't twist your wires, and you don't twist see, like this one is still twisted there. Perfect. All right, that's better. Perfect. Now it doesn't twist. Now it hangs. Chains in the center, in between, and we've got our necklace. I'm going to put some jump rings on, and I'm going to grab a mannequin for you, and we're going to hang this just so you can see what it looks like hanging. I will be right back. Okay, guys, I'm back. So I hit the stop button by accident on the video, so this is me resetting it up. But anyways, this is, and sorry about the fingers in the way, this is the necklace that I did, and it's on the bust here, and I've kind of tied it off in the back so that it hangs so it's not drooping down the table. But as you can see, the chain's in between. I've got my beads, I've got my 3 tiers, and it hangs very, very nicely. So that's why I did the chain in between, because I wanted it to be close together, but I also wanted it to drape really nice and look like it's all one piece. So that's the necklace. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a little lengthy. Sorry about that. I really enjoyed this piece. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I love the colors together. I love the chain with it. I'm excited for this piece. So, let me know what you think in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching.